Join me in Sorrento and Positano for my go-to spots on day 6 of our European honeymoon. We had a slow start to the day, only waking up at 8 a.m. for a simple breakfast from our lovely accommodation. We then walked 15 minutes to the local bus stop to take the bus from Positano to Sorrento. While the Amalfi Coast is an uphill battle, the views that we saw along the way were incredible. We got to the bus stop half an hour early because we had to go into the tobacco shop to buy a bus ticket for €2 as these cannot be purchased in advance. All buses leaving Positano go from the main port and we were about the 5th spot, so by the time the bus got here, after waiting an hour, there was only 2 remaining standing spots left. Jack and I were able to get on because the people in front of us had luggage and there was no space for them. If you're catching a bus from anywhere in the Amalfi Coast and you have to be at a certain place at a certain time, take the bus from the first bus stop at the main port of each city. Once we got to Sorrento, we explored the town and it started to drizzle, so we went into the first restaurant, Bellevue Serene. While the views were incredible, the food selection was not, so we had a quick milkshake here and went on to the next stop. Luckily, because late October is off-peak, we didn't have to make any reservations, but if you're coming during peak time, I highly recommend calling ahead. We walked about 15 minutes for the best restaurant I've ever seen in Sorrento, La Favorito or Positano. This restaurant was so large and looks like it's outdoors and in the garden, but it's actually completely indoors, so we stayed dry the entire time. The food selection was incredible, but a little bit pricey. We then walked into the local grocery shop and found that the best souvenirs are here. From chocolate to little treats and lemon jello, everything is so cheap here. Don't even bother with the outside souvenir shops. After finishing our walk around Sorrento, we went back to the bus stop to buy a ticket to Positano. I highly recommend buying all your tickets in one go because they don't expire and they're valid for the whole day. We missed the bus back to Positano by 5 seats and waited another hour for the next one. In the meantime, one guy tried to cut the line and was luckily told off by the person in front of us, and 2 people who missed the bus before opted not to wait another hour and spent €200 on an Uber back to Positano. The Ubers in Amalfi Coast are really expensive. Once the next bus came, the bus driver prioritized the entrance of any school children, which makes sense, so we waited a bit longer and had to deal with the smell. The beauty of the Amalfi Coast is the views are always magnificent, so the bus ride back, even though it was long, was really pretty. On our way back to the Accom, we found a secluded beach and it was a hefty 15 minutes down a steep road and it ended up being 40 minutes back up, but it was completely worth it. Everything I like about the Amalfi Coast is in peace and no crowds, so I'm really happy that we found this magic gem, and there was a few cats around to help Jack along the way as well. Overall, I'd say the Amalfi Coast is better in warm weather and out of the rain, but also not in the peak time because you don't get the peace and serene vibe of it. So I'd recommend coming end of April, early May, or end of September. The one thing we didn't get to do is the day in Capri with the boat tour, which I'm really sad about because of the weather. And finally, I'd recommend getting a driver here to avoid the public transport. Join me tomorrow as we travel from Amalfi Coast to Lake Como.